jealous? How's my hair? It's perfect. I'll tell you something about the birds and the bees.
She remembered you.
A girl dumped me today via text.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
This girl I'm dating at home. I was like, see you in a few days, and she was like, I don't think so. She's like, I've had time to think about things, and I don't miss you. I was like, whoa.
God. Should we just make our interview about that?
Anyway, let's talk about fruits and vegetables.
All right.
Hi, my name's Andrew Lunt. I'm here at the Woodstock Fruit Festival. I am the massage therapist for the event. I'm a certified massage therapist, a certified neuromuscular therapist, a certified personal trainer, and I'm also a mixed martial artist. I've had 3 fights. I'm a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I think that's it. I got into the lifestyle because I was interested in health, and I was just researching what diet I thought would improve my performance, improve how I looked, improve how I felt. There were no major issues going on with me, but I thought I could be recovering a little bit faster. I saw Dan McDonald, the Life Regenerators video, him standing in front of an RV juicing, and then it was a pretty organic process. No pun intended. And then I found myself just only having whey protein and sushi for quite a while. And then I kind of cut that out and I was vegan. I started eating a lot of fruit. I saw some of Doug Graham's stuff. I was actually doing 80-10-10 for a little over a year or two maybe, before I even read the book. But then once I read the book, it really hammered everything home. My digestion got a whole lot better. I was doing the whole like paleo thing. I wasn't eating very many carbohydrates in any form. Very little fruit, pretty much no grains, a lot of meat, some dairy products, a lot of protein, fat, stuff like that. And I wasn't really going to the bathroom too well. And so that was immediately the first thing I changed. I ate like a big meal of fruit, and right away I was just like, oh, okay. And more greens and stuff like that. And then skin cleared up a little bit, and my energy, it was just that there was something more consistent. I wasn't thinking about food all the time. It was always something where I was almost obsessing over, thinking about how much and what time and when and all this stuff. Now I was out the window. I could just eat what I wanted, when I wanted, and as much of it as I wanted. And I felt better. I didn't have to think about it. I lost body fat. My endurance went up. My weight control is better doing like stuff like wrestling or fighting or jiu-jitsu competitions. I'm able to control my weight a lot more efficiently than a lot of other people. They have to pretty much do starvation, crash diets and stuff to get ready, and they deplete themselves and suck out a lot of water. For me, what I'm eating is so digestible, and it just comes in and it comes out. There's nothing sitting around. It's high water, so depending on when I need to be ready for something, I'll cut calories a little bit, but it's fairly simple for me to gain or lose 10 pounds whenever I need to. So that's also very nice. I mean, the benefits are more than I can really describe. And then my clients as well. I've never prescribed this diet to anyone I've worked with, through training, through teaching jiu-jitsu, through teaching boxing, through massage therapy or the neuromuscular therapy. Anyone, when they ever ask me any nutrition questions, what I recommend. I've never had anybody come to me with any serious complaints. There are questions and things that they may not have done correctly, but anyone who's really done it, I've not once have encountered someone who didn't benefit fully from it. Everything. I mean, I've never been so happy, I don't think. Like, I'm just, like, this stuff is so good.
What's that?
It's durian. It's a fruit from, I think, Southeast Asia, in Thailand. But yeah, I mean, just the people, and it's given me more hope. I live in LA, and there's a lot of shit going on all the time, and it's just like to see like a community of people like this, and I know there's so many more of us like how the diet affects you on such a deeper level than anything else. With other things out there, diets and whatnot, like you can look at a piece of shit through a microscope and analyze it by specific little molecules or whatever it is that you're looking at in that piece of shit, and if you don't step back and just see that it's a piece of shit, it's like you don't know. You can pick it, you can be like, oh, there's a lot of, you know, B12 in there, but it's like you're not going to get your B12 by eating a piece of shit. And so I think that's kind of what applies to a lot of these other things. They make some valid points here and there, but when you look at the big spectrum of it, it just doesn't make sense. And this just makes sense. And I think, I'm sorry, I'm going on a little rant, but it affects you on a deeper level, and you can see it in the people's eyes, you can see it in how they act. I know if we were all standing around barbecuing, the environment wouldn't be the same. And it's not in some like hippie bullshit way, it's in like a genuine, everybody truly cares, everyone's very respectful. I'm massaging for part of the day, and the other part of the day I'm walking around. And you make eye contact with someone and you just talk, and like I've never been in an environment where people are this friendly and there's no drugs. There's no come down, there's no, you know, people are dancing, being themselves. And it's through, I think this is how humans should be or could be, you know. I think it's in our nature to be in a community like this and to help each other. And we're so far away from what our roots are, and a lot of our roots start with having your feet in the ground and eating the food that we're supposed to be eating that allows you, it doesn't stimulate you neurologically, it doesn't put your body in a state of stress. And the more you lower the stress and just get back to it all, the more you're able to free yourself up. And when you're free, you're not worried about things, and when you're not worried about things, you're not worried about other people. I haven't heard anyone talking shit about someone. You know, like you should just be yourself. And yeah, I think these have been the best days I've ever had in my entire life. So yeah, it's been pretty awesome. For one, I think a lot of people, you know, like you can make ethical arguments for the animals, you can make certain other arguments, but some people, they just don't care. Like I've talked to people, and no matter what you say, they just don't give a shit about animals. They don't, when you tell them it's going to affect them. So as far as like healthcare goes, as far as, you know, people being sick, as far as the environment goes, what can you do with an acre of land? You know, if you're just crop farming or farming for grains, what can you do with an acre of land with cattle? What you could do with an acre of land with fruit trees is like scientific. Like there's no argument about it. You know, the fruit trees, they make the air cleaner. It becomes stronger when you pick their fruit. People say like, oh well, fruit's a lot, you know, on a certain level you're making a tree stronger when you pick its fruit. So just in the environmental sense, everyone in the world could be fed. Everyone in the world could be healthy. So that's like the major change. And then all the other stuff, I guess, could come down to hearsay, but when you experience it, like I'll go and say like, you know, you don't want to fight each other, you know? Like, and that's funny because that's part of what I love is competition, but there's a difference between competing in something and killing each other. And I think people wouldn't want to kill each other as much. You know, there's a lot of tension. It goes back to that stress. And when you're healthy and you're seeing clearly and you're respectful of nature and you feel good, you know, like I'm never gonna join the army. I've been very hostile my whole life. I've had, you know, small man syndrome about things. That's part of the reason I got into martial arts, but this diet's just changed my perspective on a lot. And so between the health, the environment, and then you go into the animals, their well-being, and you look back at all the great minds, you know, a lot of them have been some form of vegetarian, some form of vegan, and have said things along the lines of like how society treats animals is a reflection of how they're treating themselves. And I think that goes to show, especially in America, how we treat ourselves is not the greatest, and we don't treat the animals the greatest either, or the environment. So you can only be so happy if you're sick. And sick doesn't necessarily mean you're in a hospital or you're at the doctor's office or you're taking medicine. Sick is a way of thinking, and sick is a way of feeling. And I think we're all a little bit sick. And if you want to enjoy your life to the fullest, if you want to live your life while you're here for the short amount of time you're here to the fullest, I think it's imperative that you find a way to cure your sickness and not mask your sickness. You can't put a band-aid over a bullet wound and expect it to be better. You can stop the bleeding for a little while and ignore it, but it's going to come back. It's gonna hurt you in the long run. So whatever it is in your life, get to the root cause. There's not much content on it right now, but look for me on YouTube as Holistikid, Holistikid. So instead of the C at the end of holistic, it's Holistikid. And I have a website, holistikid.com. And you can find me on Facebook at Holistikid. No, I have any idea how good this is.